Imagine this. You're walking through a crowded grocery store when a stranger accidentally bumps into you. They don't apologize. Maybe they're distracted. Maybe they're having a difficult day. You feel annoyed for a moment, and then you move on. Now imagine someone you love says something as simple as, "You forgot again." Suddenly, your heart beats faster. Your voice changes. Before you know it, you're arguing, not just about today, but about things that happened months or even years ago. How can a few words from someone we love hurt more than harsh words from a complete stranger? The answer lies in the way our brains attach meaning to relationships. Words don't exist in isolation. They carry emotional weight. When a stranger criticizes you, their opinion has very little history attached to it. It enters your mind and often leaves just as quickly. But when someone you deeply care about says something critical, your brain doesn't simply hear the sentence. It searches for what that sentence might mean. Do they still respect me? Have I disappointed them? Am I enough? Without realizing it, we stop responding to the words themselves and start reacting to the story we've built around them. This may sound strange, but many arguments don't begin with anger. They begin with fear. Fear of losing someone. Fear of rejection. Fear of not being important anymore. Our nervous system evolved in a world where staying connected to other people meant survival. Being accepted by our family or community once determined whether we lived or died. Although life has changed dramatically, our brains still respond to emotional disconnection as if it's a serious threat. That's why a small disagreement can trigger such an intense emotional reaction. The brain isn't trying to create conflict. It's trying to protect something it considers precious. We don't expect strangers to understand us, but we expect the people closest to us to know us almost effortlessly. We hope they'll notice when we're tired, understand us without explanation, remember the little things, see the pain behind our silence. These expectations are rarely spoken aloud, yet they're always present. When reality doesn't match those expectations, disappointment quietly turns into frustration. Sometimes the argument isn't really about forgotten dishes, unanswered messages, or missed plans. It's about feeling unseen. Imagine every unresolved disagreement is like a page in a diary. Most days, the diary stays closed. But during an argument, it's as though someone suddenly opens every page at once. That's why a conversation about today's problems somehow becomes a conversation about everything that has ever gone wrong. This isn't because people enjoy bringing up the past. It's because emotional memories are connected. One painful feeling awakens another. Our minds naturally search for patterns. If this happened before, the brain thinks, maybe it's happening again. One of the quietest causes of conflict is interpretation. Your partner says, "I need some time alone." Your mind hears, "I don't want to be with you." A friend forgets to call. Your brain whispers, "You don't matter." Yet these interpretations may have very little to do with reality. Our insecurities often finish other people's sentences before they've had a chance to explain themselves. Psychologists often talk about the importance of creating space between a feeling and a reaction. That space can be surprisingly small. Just one question. What else could this mean? Instead of assuming the worst, become curious. Instead of saying, "You never listened to me," try asking, "Can you help me understand what you meant?" Curiosity lowers defensiveness. It reminds both people that they're on the same side. Perhaps the saddest truth about love is also the most beautiful. The people who have the greatest ability to hurt us are usually the same people we've trusted with the most vulnerable parts of ourselves. Conflict isn't always a sign that love is disappearing. Sometimes it's evidence that the relationship matters deeply. Healthy relationships aren't built by avoiding disagreements. They're built by learning how to disagree without forgetting that you're both trying to protect the same connection. The next time an argument begins to grow, remember this. The person across from you may not be your enemy. They may simply be another human being, protecting a heart that is just as frightened as your own. And perhaps that realization is where understanding begins. If this video resonated with you, consider sharing it with someone you care about. Sometimes, understanding why we argue is the first step toward learning how to love each other a little better.